Do you want to reduce your energy bills? Or maybe you want to use greener energy? Go solar and get a discount. Right now, Which members can get a 7.5% discount on solar panels and their installation if you use Heatable, a Which trusted trader approved service. You can also include a storage battery and EV charger, handy if you're looking at making the switch to an electric car. To make use of this exclusive offer, simply head to which.co.uk/solar-offer, that's which.co.uk/solar-offer before the 30th of September 2025. And if you're not already a Which member, you can grab a year's membership for 50% off the usual price. To do that, go to which.co.uk/podcast offer to get involved. Start your solar journey today. Go solar and get a discount with Which.
Hello, this is Which Shorts, the podcast that every week gives you a taster of one of our magazines, all for free. Now, every Wednesday, I pick up one of our mags, find something that I find really interesting, and then bring it to life. Now, this week, I found a piece that Laurel Ives wrote for the July issue of Which magazine, all about GP appointments. Now, I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that these appointments can feel rushed, and it can seem hard to get one in the first place. But let me tell you that a bit of preparation can make all the difference. Here's Laurel's piece, adapted for the podcast this week, read by me, James Rowe. From the 8 a.m. scramble to confusing online forms and the rise of telephone assessments, seeing a GP has become a frustrating experience for many. A recent survey by the King's Fund reported a steep drop in satisfaction with GP services. Just 31% were satisfied in 2024, compared with 68% 5 years beforehand. Patient numbers are on the rise, while the number of GPs has fallen. Meanwhile, the pandemic has reshaped how surgeries operate. Telephone appointments almost doubled between 2019 and 2024, and face-to-face consultations dropped from 81% to 66%, according to a report by the independent think tank, the Institute for Government. Dr. Rosie Khan is a GP in Hemel Hempstead. She said hospital waiting lists are longer, so we're caring for people for longer while they wait. Also, patients have more complex issues, but the 10-minute slots haven't changed. We're often overrun. The government recently announced new funding to recruit more GPs, but for now, knowing how to get the most from your appointment can make a big difference. So, first things first, how do you get an appointment to begin with? This is often many people's top complaint. Many practices do release same-day slots at 8 a.m, but that can lead to long phone queues. According to Dr. Khan, some surgeries give out these appointments in person, so turning up early when the doors open can be an option, but do check with your surgery first. Others offer these appointments on the NHS app, sometimes shortly beforehand, or hold back some slots to release later in the day to spread the demand. For non-urgent problems that don't need a physical exam, an online form or phone appointment may be quicker. Many surgeries use AccuRx or eConsult, so check your practice's website. For example, if you've got a persistent rash, upload a photo using eConsult, says Dr. Khan. And if you prefer to be seen in person, say so. Patients can absolutely request that, they say. And don't overlook other professionals who can help too. Many practices have clinical pharmacists, practice nurses and physiotherapists on hand that can deal with minor illnesses, medication queries or blood pressure checks, often more quickly than a GP can. Now, once you're in the room, how can you make the most of your slot? Well, GP appointments are short, usually just 10 minutes, so preparation does help. If you have several concerns, jot them down in advance. That way, you and your GP can decide what to prioritise. When we focus on one issue, we can explore it properly, says Dr. Khan. Trying to cover too many things often leaves patients feeling unheard. Next, think through your symptoms, when they started, what affects them, and how they impact your life. And be sure to bring a list of medications and recent hospital letters or test results. Dr. Camilla Stockholm, an author and GP in Exeter, says, don't assume that your GP knows your full history from a quick glance at your notes. Some information may be missing or badly coded. A brief summary of the main issues can be helpful. One useful prep method is ICE, or ICE, which stands for Ideas, Concerns and Expectations. It's how GPs are trained to structure consultations, and it can help you clarify what you want from your appointment. Describe your symptoms clearly. Instead of saying, "I feel tired," say, "I slept for 8 hours, but I still wake up feeling exhausted." If something hurts, explain how. It feels like stabbing pains gives more information than just, "it hurts." Also, be honest. Dr. Khan says, if you're not taking your medication, drinking too much or struggling mentally, say so. We're here to help, not judge. Don't be embarrassed if you cry. Doctors have seen and heard everything, says Dr. Clara Doran, a GP who's worked in Edinburgh for 20 years. We've all been patients too, they say. With so much health advice available online these days, doctors say people often arrive convinced of a specific diagnosis or with a treatment in mind. Dr. Doran says, patient research is great, but sometimes it fuels anxiety. If you've read something, share it, but try to stay open-minded. Changes to your lifestyle, such as managing your sleep, stress levels, exercise or diet, can be as important as prescriptions. There's strong signs showing patients have more control over their health issues than they realise, says Dr. Stockholm. Don't take offence if your GP suggests non-medication options. If a referral is needed, your GP might first request blood tests or other checks. It's part of the process and they have to justify sending you onwards too. If things can't be resolved in one visit, ask to book a follow-up. And while it can be frustrating and tricky if you're unwell and have been waiting ages, be polite. We're human too, says Dr. Stockholm. People under pressure respond better to kindness. Instead of a face-to-face appointment, you may be offered one over the phone or online. These consultations can be convenient, especially if you're less mobile, you work or look after children. But they can also feel rushed and are often shorter than face-to-face appointments. To get the best from your phone or video appointment, choose a quiet place where you can speak freely and, as you would for an in-person appointment, write down what you want to discuss in advance. If you feel you weren't heard or need an exam, ask for a face-to-face follow-up. In any case, if you don't feel happy with your GP, you can ask to see another one at the practice or register with a different one entirely. For formal complaints, each surgery has a published procedure. Check with the reception staff or the practice's website. However, it may be better to try and resolve it in person first. If it isn't resolved, contact your local integrated care board or get help from the NHS Complaints Advocacy or the Patients Association. That brings to an end another podcast from Which. There's loads more for you to read about everything we discussed today. Just head to the episode description for more useful everyday advice. There you'll also find an exclusive offer for podcast listeners like you to become a Which member for 50% off the usual price, giving you access to our product reviews, our app, one-to-one personalised buying advice and every issue of Which magazine across the year. Plus, your membership helps us to make life simpler, fairer and safer for everyone. If you'd like to know when we release a new episode, then make sure you press subscribe wherever you're listening. That way you can be one of the first to listen. And for any questions, comments or anything in between, follow us on social media at WhitchUK or email us podcasts@which.co.uk. Goodbye.
If you're enjoying this podcast from us here at Which, then why not become a Which member? Right now, we've got a special offer, especially for podcast listeners, meaning you can choose any of our 3 membership tiers for 50% off the usual price. Starting at just £39.50 for a full year, you can get Which magazine delivered direct to your door. For the same price, you could also choose a digital Which subscription, giving you access to all of our product reviews, the Which app, and the digital edition of Which magazine. What's more, you'll also be able to use the Ask Which service for personalised one-to-one buying advice. Or why not get a full access Which subscription for just £49.50 for a full year? Don't forget, that's 50% off the usual price. To join Which or to find out more, just head to which.co.uk/podcast offer. That's which.co.uk/podcast offer. Or click the link in the description for today's podcast for 50% off a Which annual subscription.